Hey everybody, and welcome back. As always, I am Matteo311, and today we're going to be discussing the Vive Cosmos yet again, most likely for the last time. Now this video is going to be all about, can this thing be redeemed? Can it be fixed? Are the problems that we saw at launch deal breakers permanently? Now the last video I made was over a week ago when this first released, and it was a first impressions video. I was extremely animated. My delivery might have come off as a bit over the top, but that's just me. I wasn't putting on some type of act. That was genuine first impressions. And like I said in a lot of the feedback, a first impression really does matter because it's gonna shape your faith in the company. So the dust is cleared. There's been some more time. I went through all the feedback that you guys sent me. I really appreciate that. A lot of it was in agreement with what I said. You guys were frustrated with the launch of the Cosmos. Everyone agrees that the tracking is subpar. But some people were like, well, it's a new product. All these VR headsets launch with issues and it's gonna improve over time, which I do agree. Two of my main biggest complaints was the tracking and the fact that it doesn't have a lot of compatible software, which I thought was insane. However, those will definitely improve, and they've already started to improve. Onward, for example, has official compatibility with the Cosmos now. So yes, compatibility is moving forward. But there's a difference between having launch issues and not being happy with a product on launch day. I got an OG Vive, an Index, a Quest, and a Vive Pro all on launch day. And I was happy with all of those products. You could even throw in the wireless adapter. I got that at launch and I was very impressed with that. So that is 5 VR products that I got on launch day that yes, may have all had some issues on launch, but I was extremely happy with all of them. This was the first VR headset that I received that I was, forget happy, extremely disappointed in. And I'm gonna cut to the chase. I'm returning this. Yes, the tracking can be fixed, and even if they get it up to the Rift S level, the Rift S standard, okay, it's still not enough. Compatibility will definitely be fixed. All the games will eventually work. Great, it's still not enough. Why isn't it enough? Well, at $700, this is basically a premium product, but it's not giving me any advantages over my Valve Index. Speaking of VR things that suck, not having multiplayer friends to game with. That's a huge problem in VR. I think this is a perfect opportunity for me to mention a solution. There's a Discord server that I've been using lately. It's called VR Club. It grew to over 1,000 members like that, and it's just people looking to game together. So if you need a VR partner, some gaming buddies, I always see requests coming up for Pavlov and all popular games, but even less popular games. That's the place to go to. I will put a link in the description for you guys to check out. Maybe you'll see me in there and we can game together. I have to say my Valve Index, I said multiple times, it is my favorite VR experience. And one of the biggest things I'm going to refuse to give up is the increased FOV. Some people have a lot of trouble getting into the visual sweet spot on this. Actually, this rests pretty well on my head. It's fairly comfortable. I do like the flip up option, and I found the sweet spot immediately, and I tend to stay there. It doesn't move around. Some people are complaining of that. However, not having that increased FOV, I feel like I'm wearing blinders when I play VR now. And yes, you will adjust to it, but I don't want to give that up. That and the 120 Hertz are just major selling points for the Valve Index. Now I did pick this product up to review it, but also I am a VR enthusiast. I do want a product from every company, and I'm just genuinely curious, but my plan for usage was as an extra PC VR headset, so I could run 3 VR headsets in this room at the same time for when I do my monthly game nights. And I have enough space. There's some space over here There's my general area that, if you guys are familiar with my content, have seen that I have a pretty, it's about 12 feet by 22 feet. The cable doesn't make it that long, which leaves an extra 12 feet by 6 feet at the end, where you could sit with an Oculus Quest, Valve Index, and then whatever other VR I plan to use, the Cosmos in this space, which is over here, which is another about 6 by 10 feet, which is a little small, however, for most games is adequate. And that was my plan for my game nights. But I could do that for much cheaper. I can get a Rift S and basically get a good enough experience for that extra player for half the price. If you go on eBay now, because everyone's selling their Rift S, because it almost feels as if Facebook is abandoning the Rift S and focusing primarily on the Quest, you can get one for $250. And I can get what I needed. Or I could have not given up my Vive Pro with wireless adapter and just added a base station. I have 2.0 base stations. There's one right up there. There's actually 3 already in this room due to the weird shape of the room. So if I was to add one there, that would have also been tracked space, and the 2.0 base stations can track more than one headset at a time. So I would have been able to track my Vive Pro wirelessly in that area. So for $150, I could have added the feature I wanted. Or for $250 to at maximum $400, I could get a Rift S and get that. This is not bringing anything to the table for me, and it's a pretty big disappointment. That disappointment continues when we just look at the overall features. Nothing here is better than anything anywhere else, except you could argue the screen, but it's a minor improvement. Minor. Yes, these headphones are an improvement over the Vive Pro. They have a lot more flexibility and range and get onto your ear more comfortably, but audio quality does not compare to the Valve Index. Every once in a while, I will take my Valve Index off and look around because the positional audio is so powerful. I was convinced there was a sound emanating from somewhere in the room. Absolutely convinced that someone was walking around in the room or something was dropped in the room. So I mean, it's unbelievable how immersive that sound is. And while this quality is good, it's definitely not on that level. The mic is crap. The camera system, again, does not compare to the inside-out tracking of the Rift S or the Quest. The Halo strap, I really can't compare to other Halo straps. Some people say it doesn't rest on their head as well as the PlayStation or the Rift S, but I don't have those to compare it to. All I can say is it's not as comfortable as the Index. The foam inside is just a joke. It should not be foam. We should not be using foam anymore. That is just a sweat sponge. The heat level is not anything to brag about. It's not better than the Index. The Index heat level doesn't bother me at all. It is better than the Vive Pro, but that's not saying much. I hated the heat level in my Vive Pro. The controllers, while the battery life, people are still contesting the battery life. VR Upload said I got about 2.5 to 3 hours out of it, and then Tested said they got about 4. Even at that level, 2 AA batteries, even if you're always getting 4 hours, that's still insane to me. I mean, that's crazy. I do like the feel, and I actually enjoy the bulk of it. It feels a little bit more comfortable in my grip than the Quest controllers, which are a little bit too small, but that battery level is just absurd. I mean, just playing Asgard's Wrath, I would have went through 10 batteries. And I started playing it on Saturday. And just to hammer home the disappointment in this product, I really wanted to put on the wireless adapter out of the box and say, hey, listen, I have something special that no one else has. I have a wireless, or I consider it tetherless, PC VR headset that can do things no other headset can. Well, that's not the case. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to buy an extra battery pack for another 50 bucks to use a wireless adapter that I already have, that I already bought a $50 or $60 conversion piece for the Vive Pro. At this point, I feel like HTC is shitting on me, and I just can't stand for it anymore. This product is going back, and the next time I get a headset, it's gonna have to be a big step up from the Valve Index. Okay guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed your feedback on my first impressions. I'm gonna do more of that raw, this is just me turning on the mic and going at it videos, because you seem to respond so positively to it. I think it's because I'm genuine in those videos, I'm not holding anything back. There's also a unique energy level when I do those videos. Even if I'm excited or disappointed, my energy level just tends to be up here. Again, I'm digressing, I'm ranting, I'm all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed this video. And my next video is gonna be on AAA title VR games. As God's Wrath, I've been playing a ton of it. It is amazing, guys. I can't wait to show you some footage, talk about just how amazing this game is. I have some tips. It's all coming soon, guys. Again, I will see you on next time.